So a lot of us can rely on sugars or caffeine or carbohydrates to give us that instant boost, and that's a sign that your adrenals need some major TLC. In this video, I'd like to talk about all the reasons why you have a hormone imbalance. Now, what does that mean exactly? You likely know if you're watching this video, you relate to a lot of the symptoms like irritability, more anxiety, you could have heavy periods, fibrocystic breasts, painful periods, or maybe you're not experiencing your period at all because you're in postmenopause or medical induced menopause. And if that's the case, maybe you're getting vaginal dryness, you feel more weepy, you can have dryness over the entire body, night sweats, a lot of things that I would like to talk about, the top 3 ways that we can help balance our hormones depending on what the root cause is. Now, number 1 is if you have a blood sugar imbalance. So a way to know this is if you feel hungry about 2 hours after you have a meal, or it could be you just have the meal and you feel like you need to have something sweet. Or you can't go 12 hours fasting through the night, you feel like you just need to wake up and have something. Or if you have your blood sugar checked and you realize that your fasting glucose or your hemoglobin A1C is high. Those are all things that we need to watch out for, because what happens is when you have sugar or glucose going into the system, your pancreas is going to release insulin. And insulin is a growth factor, which we do not want to overstimulate in the case of certain cancers, but also it's going to affect how your ovaries release testosterone. And testosterone is another hormone that can make you feel irritable and anxious and just make you feel on edge. And in the hormone pathway, this testosterone converts into estrogens, which can lead to a whole other slew of symptoms, so such as breast tenderness, the fibroids, you can get the heavy periods, cramping, and that irritability that you can feel throughout the month. The other thing that high insulin does is it lowers sex-binding globulin, which means that more estrogen is even dumped into the bloodstream. So if you have a hormonal cancers or any kind of hormone imbalance, then that's something that you want to be cautious of. So regulating your blood sugar is a really important step. And you can do this by getting at least 30 grams of fiber in your day. So through fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. Those are all really great ways to boost your fiber intake. Or you can get a supplement, which I like to do is just when I know that I'm not having a high fiber day, I can take a half a tablespoon of psyllium hulls. And that's also a really great way to keep your bowel movements regular. So if you have a hormone imbalance, getting enough of those fibers to not only regulate blood sugar levels, but to make sure you have healthy bowel movements to make sure these hormones are not recirculating in your system and wreaking more havoc on your hormonal balance. Now, the second thing that can lead to hormones being way out of whack is if your adrenals are burnt out. Your adrenals are your main stress glands that help produce cortisol anytime that there's a stressor. So you have 2 tiny adrenal glands over top of each kidney, and they're responsible for giving you that get up and go and feeling of getting through the day. So a lot of us can rely on sugars or caffeine or carbohydrates to give us that instant boost, and that's a sign that your adrenals need some major TLC. So if you're a type of person that's go, go, go all the time and you just feel like sitting still is a challenge and you need to take care of everybody else and you always have a packed schedule, likely your adrenals are burnt out. And the way that this causes a hormone imbalance is because if your adrenals are exhausted, then it's focusing all of its energy on repairing these adrenal glands versus supporting your sex hormone pathway. And this is especially important if you are in postmenopause or medical induced menopause where your ovaries are not functioning like they were in their 20s and 30s. So if you're noticing that you're just feeling exhausted all the time, you crave caffeine around the 2 p.m. mark, or you need to have a nap, that's a pretty good indication that you need to support your adrenal glands. And what I was saying about insulin and sugar balance, that's also a really great way to support your adrenals. Because if you're constantly getting these adrenal and cortisol spikes, then your system is going to be exhausted. Kind of the same way as if you were putting your accelerator on your car and just wanting to go, 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 but not refueling properly. How far is that car really gonna go? It's going to burn out. Now, the third reason why you may be suffering from a hormonal imbalance is if you have a hormone-driven cancer from the result of the first two reasons that we talked about. Or if you've been put on exogenous hormones throughout your life, such as birth control or synthetic hormones, that's another thing that can throw your hormones out of whack. So if you've been placed on a medication like tamoxifen or letrozole, both of those suppress the production of estrogen and lead to a whole other slew of hormone imbalances. So you'll feel the anxiety there, joint pains, you can get a brain fog, just more emotional, vaginal dryness, low sex drive, all the things that us as women do not want to be suffering from. So we clearly want to stay away from supplementing from any type of estrogen promoting agent like bioidenticals in the system. So this is a time where our body is going to be relying on our adrenal glands even more. So adrenal glands will produce sex hormones, and it's something that we need to focus on if you have a hormone imbalance. So it's not like it's stimulating the estrogen pathway or progesterone or testosterone. It's really nourishing. So you want to choose glandulars and nutrients that support your adrenal glands, like B vitamins, magnesium, even herbs like rhodiola and ashwagandha are really great to help with a healthy balance of hormones in the system and to help regulate you. And even things like evening primrose, which is a phytoestrogen that can also help balance your hormones when you're finding a deficit and feeling completely deprived of your sex hormones. So all those top three reasons are something that you can look at to see which one do you kind of fall into the category, and often it's all three of them. So I've never seen where someone just has one type of hormone imbalance. Usually if you have a hormonal cancer, this type of imbalance could have been going on for 10 years or longer. So pay attention to that. Look at your blood work. Look to see what else you can help balance with. And make sure to check out my site, drlori.ca. I give a lot of free resources on things that you can do to apply and to learn more from your system. If you found this video useful and you want to continue learning from me, please hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.